Hallmarkies podcast. We are delighted today to be here with another one of our Hallmark Stars interviews. And this is our second time talking to Madison Smith. We're so excited to get to talk with him, but I am film critic Rachel Wagner. Cammie is here.
Hi, everybody. Hooked Hardy Cammie here.
Hey. And Madison, thank you so much for coming the second time on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a blast. It's just a fun time to chat with you guys.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. So
now I have to interject really quickly here. This is really big because Madison was my very first When Calls the Heart celebrity interview for my blog. And so now I get to talk to him because it was a print interview. So now I get to talk to him on the podcast. So this is big.
We've come so far. Technology has taken us light years ahead.
We had our chat on Twitter.
Exactly. I know.
This is an epic moment for you all the way around.
Absolutely.
So last time we spoke to you on the podcast was last September 2018, September.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, how has your year and change been?
Year and change has been good. I mean, since then I got the chance to do 2 Hallmark movies. I got to be a part of Valentine's in the Vineyard, which was a blast. I got to work with Rachel and Brendan and one of my best friends, Marcus, and that was just a great time. And then being a part of this one was really cool. This is my first Christmas Hallmark movie, so
I was about to say, the last time we talked, it was one of your aspirations, so you did it.
I did it. That's true. Yeah, I mean, I figured it would happen one of these times, and it was kind of cool to have one because I think me and you've talked about this. I call myself Hallmark's little brother all the time, and once again, I'm Hallmark's little brother because I'm Tori's little brother. But this time I got to kind of have my own storyline, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, hey, my little brother is one of my favorite people, so it's going to be a little brother.
I'll say this, that because I get to be the snarky little brother, I'm often a fan favorite, I like to think.
I think
you're not wrong.
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
I get to be the person who says the snarky things all the time. It's my favorite.
And get away with it.
Exactly. No consequences for the snarky little brother. There's never consequences. He gets away with the Chad Michael Murray is like on the ice with one person for 2 seconds and the whole movie almost falls over. But yet I can do whatever because I'm the snarky little brother.
Yeah. It's a liberating role.
So you said that you had one brother, correct?
Correct.
Who's older?
I'm the older brother, so it's always I always get to play the younger brother, which is awesome.
So you're having to do some serious acting being the younger brother.
I mean, that's the thing. Like I don't want to say Oscar out loud, but I mean, it's just to be an older brother and play a younger brother. It feels like, I mean, the Academy should be knocking at my door, realistically.
Yeah. Get the Emmy out now. Emmy's out now. Oh, that's funny. So last time we spoke with you, Falling for You was coming up. Mm-hmm. And so I guess, how did you feel that movie turned out? Did you get a chance to see it?
I did, yeah. I mean, working with Taylor Cole was, I think, one of my longtime aspirations as an actor, because before I was even an actor, I had a huge crush on Taylor. Uh-huh. And so I was really excited when I got a chance to do that. And yeah, basically it turned out kind of how I wanted it to. I was hoping that it would be a scene where I got to have some fun. Me and Matt Visser got a chance to really play along with each other. And I'm really glad that it kind of turned out the way it did.
Yeah. Well, didn't your mom end up bidding on your cake that you made, the Bachelor Bake Off? That was
on both of them.
Yeah. I was like,
yeah, exactly.
Isn't the whole point of the Bachelor Bake Off to like get you? She wanted to get you dates, so I was confused why she was bidding.
It did seem kind of strange that they decided in the story that they were gonna do that. My mom picks up the picks the cake. Yeah, that was the strange part.
I don't really understand her strategy there. Is she?
If she's trying to get us dates, especially for her for my mom, she's just a very what's
Maybe
the word?
Doting.
Overprotective mom who doesn't want us
doting
to have
mom.
anybody. Exactly.
Well, maybe she thinks that if she gets the cake, then she can pick the date.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Maybe.
I get that.
That was one of my favorite parts in the film. And you and Matt just did that so perfectly, where you just turned and simultaneously did Mom. And
oh gosh.
It was so funny.
It was my favorite part. And like trying to hold a straight face while doing that was the best, because Matt made me laugh the whole time we were on set. At the entire time I was working with Matt, he made me laugh. So then when we had to do that scene, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I basically said to Peter, I was like, this might be a wash. I don't know if we are going to get what you want, but we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Now, did the two of you decide, because it's not mentioned in the script, did the two of you decide which one was the younger brother?
I think it was decided that I was the older brother. I think.
Oh, stepping out of character.
I know, right? Like that one, I finally got a chance to play into my norms, but yeah, So it kind of wasn't really mentioned or even made a big deal, but I think I was the older brother because I always seem to be the one who talked first.
Uh-huh.
That was my interpretation. I think older brothers always seem to have the first word.
But yeah, I did feel, because I loved the movie. It was my number one non-Christmas movie last year. I loved it. But I did feel like, did they understand what a Bachelor Bake Off is? I think there's some confusion here because no bachelors were. It was just everybody was just bidding on the food. So it was
kind of like, what was the point? It was like, was it hot guys are making food, so that's what you are like, because good-looking guys are making the food, you have to have.
It was just a cake auction.
It's
really
just a cake, and it ended up like you could have just pulled it out of the box from Safeway and been like, "Hey, yeah, this was purchased by Mr. Tyler."
Yeah,
who knows?
And and it is funny because I interviewed Tyler, and I was like, I don't know if this is good. He was great, but I was like, I don't know if this will be a fit for Hallmark. And then he's in this movie, and he's just nails it.
He killed it right away. He kind of him and Peter really seemed to gel together, and it was pretty apparent from the beginning that he was going to fit in, which was awesome. And I think that's the greatest thing about Hallmark now too, is it's you don't have to be just one thing. You don't have to be a Hallmark actor. You can be an actor or an actress from any facet of shows and then fall or sidestep into an amazing role in Hallmark, and it might be different, but it doesn't mean that you're not able to do it. I find there's no typecasting anymore, which is the best part. It means I can be really excited to do a Hallmark show, but I can also be really excited to do the gore horror movies or whatever end up coming up.
Yeah. No, that's really true. I mean, they're even partly because they're just making so many, they can't be that juicy. Let's be honest. But they're pulling from Broadway these days. They're pulling from all over the place, which is really cool.
Yeah, you got a lot of talent.
The best thing, I think, and I mean, it's a testament to you guys as well, that, I mean, the fans are the greatest part. The fact that people are so excited to watch these is the end all be all best reason to do it, is because people are so excited and ready to watch and happy when they get a chance to. So that's for me why I think it's the greatest part. There's nothing better than making something for people that are going to enjoy it. That's like,
now that's definitely true.
Exactly. And it's my favorite part.
Yeah. Well, and it is, even from the podcast angle, it is true that it seems like this audience is kind of their need for content is unsatiable. Like I keep thinking, because we put out a lot of content. That's kind of our niche. We just cover everything. And I keep thinking, I keep watching the analytics, every day to be like, okay, when are they going to be like, enough is enough and the numbers will fall? Nope. They're always about the same. Sometimes a little higher, but yeah, no matter how.
Because what was right before Christmas? Right before Christmas, I think ended up like like just behind The Walking Dead in ratings
did
that
well.
day.
Yeah,
Did well.
it was very popular. It was my favorite of the weekend. And I can
Mine
say
too,
that
I will
completely
say.
without bias. Yeah, you're biased. I promise I was speaking completely without bias.
Yes,
But
I
it
have
did help
much
that
bias.
but it did help that it had a lot of my favorite people in it. So
It was a pretty strong weekend in general. I think they've had a pretty strong year so far, Hallmark. I think.
And it's only November.
I know, crazy.
got a lot left.
Yeah. Ooh, wow. So you were in Valentine in the Vineyard, like you said. And so what is that experience like when you're sort of added to an ensemble in the
Oh, this is what we talked about. So
Yeah.
this will be fun.
It was kind of amazing. I mean, I got really lucky. This is a little behind the scenes tidbit about my character, but basically my character was always supposed to be in it, but also Rachel's younger brother from the first two, he was supposed to be in it as well, and he was supposed to have the love story with Steph's character. It turned out he wasn't available for Valentine in the Vineyard, so they decided to put both my storyline, where we're at the holistic or the natural path for gardening, that part, and then they put my stuff with Steph all together. So I basically got two really awesome storylines all together, and that was kind of amazing. So that meant I got a chance to work really closely with Steph, who was a friend of mine that I've had for a long time. And so working with her on set was a blast. But then getting a chance to work really closely with Brendan, he is one of the funniest men I've ever met in my entire life. I called people turkeys for, weeks afterwards, because that's how he calls everybody.
Well, this is good to hear, because Jen Lilly, one of my favorite interviews we ever did, her first interview, she told us all of how Brendan Penny was the biggest goof on set ever. It was constantly making me laugh.
Easily. Top goofer in the world. And I was able to make him laugh in a take, and I was so pumped because in the first scene that you see me, I'm digging through the dirt, and all we're supposed to do is like feel it with our hands, and I found this little stick. And I don't even know why it made him laugh, but I kind of just broke it, and dirt kind of flew everywhere. He couldn't get a word out for 5 takes because he was still laughing from that last moment. So I felt pretty good about myself. So the man who makes everybody else laugh, I made him laugh, which means I made everybody laugh.
Well, look at you.
That is funny. Yeah, we had it confirmed. Now it's definitely confirmed. Because we've had it confirmed from you, from Andrew Francis, and from Jen Lilly. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. We are so delighted to be working with Glamor Jewelry Box, which is a really great thing, especially for this time of the year when you're trying to finish off that ensemble that you have for the holiday parties, other things going on. You want that perfect accessory to go with your outfit. You get every month a necklace, set of earrings, and a bracelet, and they try to be on trend but not too weird. Kemi, you got to see this jewelry. What did you think?
I thought it was gorgeous. It was just the right touch of classy but different. I especially loved the bracelet because it had this kind of twisted, interconnected quality, and so I can't wait to wear it. This is it's my first little bit of Hallmarkies merch that I'm getting as an official podcast member. So I'm excited, and it's going to be, I can't wait. Yeah. It's going to be great.
It's really cool. And you get $5 off on your first month subscription. Go to glamorjewelrybox.com and enter Hallmarkies at checkout, and you can get your first box. The biggest goof. So yeah. So it's clear. That's funny. So, did you have any? I know you're engaged, and seeing all the wedding stuff in that movie. Did that give you any inspiration?
Filmed in Penticton, and the winery that we filmed at was so gorgeous that pretty much now I'm thinking Penticton might be where we choose to get married.
You're joking. Seriously?
It might be. Well, I was born in Kelowna, which is just outside of there, and wine country is so beautiful, and it's right on Lake Okanagan, which is one of the most beautiful places you can go in British Columbia.
So honestly, seeing how it can look, I mean, I don't know if we'll have Hallmark money to sort of decorate our place, but hopefully it looks just as good.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you guys have a date?
We don't have a date yet. We basically, one of the best things about myself and Hannah as a couple is we both have our careers that we're that we are chasing towards. I want to be an actor. She wants to be a professional dancer. So what the big thing for us is almost like to get engaged, to basically say we're going to get married one day. But we didn't have it be one of the things that once we're engaged, now we're getting married. It was as in when we said, we're going to get married one day. And this is to show that is for real. We didn't want to be one of those people that sort of talks about, one day we'll get engaged. It was, hey, we're engaged to be married. And when the time is right for us, either money wise or schedule wise to actually get married, that's when we do it.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Yeah, you don't have to have the big wedding though. Like just the simple, like if you have your family there and some people make it too complicated.
Oh yeah, and that's the big thing. But I will say it's always going to be tough because I think I have a small, close-knit amount of people that I'm okay with inviting. She seems to have about 80, 90. So right there, if I have only 20 and she has 80, we have 100 people. That's a big wedding.
Yeah, that's true. The list does add up. It's so funny because my mom has like 75 first cousins, like huge family.
Geez.
Yeah, because everybody had tons of kids and everything, and so it was just funny reading over my grandpa's journal, and every time there would come up to a family wedding or event, he'd be like, "Big crowd." Big crowd came. I'm like, Grandpa, you have just in your like first generation relatives, it's going to be a big crowd. Like, what are you talking about? It's just funny to me. It adds up very quickly.
I had a small wedding, but I had a very big reception because my parents know everybody, and so yeah, we had a very, very big reception. I come from a big family too, so it was big. So I'm one of those who had a big wedding. Sorry.
Oh, and I don't think there's anything wrong with either one. I think that's the thing is the one thing we just want to make sure that we stick to is having a wedding that's for us.
Sure.
As much as it's for, everybody to have a good time, but we want to get a chance to enjoy it. That's the big thing that we're looking for.
And you stick to that.
Totally. I feel like I had the greatest idea for our wedding ever because I read this book. It was like, hey, make sure it's about you. Now, I thought of this and it got immediately vetoed by my mom and by Hannah. So it's not happening, but I thought it was a great idea. I love breakfast. So I was like, it'll be a cheaper option. Why don't we do breakfast for dinner? Yeah. We'll do
That's a fabulous idea.
Exactly. There'd be like a Denver omelet and then eggs Benedict and then a waffle. Those are your three options. And then there's a whole cereal bar for like the kids. And I was like, this is going to be great. And there's going to be like a fruit salad and all this stuff. It's going to be delicious. And my mom's like, honey, no. And I'm like, but it's such a good idea.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea also because all of your venues are going to be way cheaper in the morning.
It was still going to be for dinner. It was still because I love breakfast for dinner. So that's my favorite. So that was why I wanted it. It immediately got vetoed. So far, I haven't been able to sneak it back in there. But as of now, it seems like that's not going to be the case. But then I was like, I love pizza and sushi. And so I might just say, why don't we do pizza and sushi? Seems like that's
and then they'll go back to breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. Someone will be like, this is a bad idea. Let's go with his first idea. Let's just do it.
Yeah. As long as you have like legit food, especially if it's going to end up being like a whole day of events and stuff, like these people that just have like cake and mixed nuts, I'm like, I don't know, not enough.
I've seen weddings that have like late night McDonald's delivered, and it's like this is extravagant. I can't even pay for myself to get McDonald's. How am I going to pay for 50 people?
Oh my word!
Yeah.
Oh man.
My cousin had the best wedding reception I've ever been to. She had all of these stations. There was a pie station. There was a Italian soda, soda station. There was a slider station. It was so yummy.
I always find the good ones that have like a good buffet, there's always quite a few like desserts. And this might be the most controversial thing I'll ever say, but always a big hit is red velvet cake. And I think red velvet cake is the most overrated cake in the world because it has a fancy name. It's not even impressive. So here's the thing. If you put cream cheese icing on anything, it's going to be delicious. So if you told me it was cream cheese icing, it's great. Now, if you dye your chocolate cake red and then give it a fancy name, now all of a sudden it's the most popular cake in the world. I think it's ridiculous. It's just chocolate cake with cream cheese icing, but it's all red velvet, so it's fancy.
That's pretty controversial coming from a Hallmark actor, because in June weddings, it is red velvet cake is in every single one. I said somebody has a thing for red velvet cake.
I think it's the color. People want the color, but yeah, I mean, it certainly wouldn't be my top choice, that's for sure. I wanted to ask you, on IMDb, I noticed you had a writing credit for The Color Rose, it was called, and I was wondering if that's something you're pursuing more, is writing.
Yeah, actually, interestingly enough, I because I like working with Hallmark so much, I've been trying to sort of play around with a few different ideas for different Hallmark scripts, as well as I've always loved TV and film so much that anytime I get a chance to sort of play around with what's going on as an actor, anytime I get to watch movies, I love sort of how things are put together. So the fact that I can add something to that or be a part of that conversation is a blast. So yeah, one day, hopefully I get a chance to write a script that I get to see in theaters one day.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be really cool.
Good luck with that, because that's no easy task.
No, it's not. And that's the thing. If you think there's a lot of actors, there's also a lot of writers. Yeah. So hopefully, fingers crossed. And I've been lucky enough to work with some great Hallmark writers that I have a chance to sort of chat with them and ask their advice. So, fingers crossed one day I get a chance to have one on screen.
We'd like to take a second to talk about our second sponsor of this episode of the podcast. They are the good folks over at Skylight Frame, and it's a really cool thing that they do. We've seen lots of digital frames before, but this is a unique one where you can actually have people email you photos directly to the frame. So you could be sitting there, watching your pictures go by, and boom, surprise picture from somebody in your family, which I think is such a fun new idea. And you don't even need any kind of USB port or anything like that to add photos. It's can be done all digitally from your phone, from your computer, all that stuff, which is really cool. And you think of how many pictures that we take on our Instagram and everything, and those can just be uploaded immediately to the frame. I think it looks really nice. A 10-inch touch screen. It has a black frame, white matte. It just will go with anything in your house, and it'd just be really novel and sweet. So if you're looking for a great gift for somebody in your family, this is something that I think will really enjoy. And right now you can get $10 off your purchase of a Skylight frame. You go to skylightframe.com, enter code Hallmark, and so $10 off. That's Skylight Frames, SKYLIGHTFRAME.com, and enter code Hallmark, not Hallmarkies.
If there's one thing I know about you, Madison, you are a man who loves his craft. I was rereading our interview, and just every single answer that you gave was how much you loved being on set, how much you love acting, how much you love to be a part of any genre. And so you'll make it happen because you love your craft and you're committed to it 150%.
It is honestly, I always like to sort of talk about this. When I was a kid, I wanted to play baseball in the major leagues. That was my dream. And I still remember I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to go to, the theater in Prince George where I grew up and audition. And I was like, what if the guys from my baseball team saw me? It was such a weird,
oh, no.
Why would they be at the theater? But I don't know why that was, but as a 12-year-old, that's what you think. But now, as I've grown up in baseball, unfortunately, playing in the major leagues is no longer an option. Now, instead of getting to play a child's game, I get to play pretend, which is maybe better.
Mm-hmm.
I can't argue with you. I was a theater major in college, and I love acting. I don't get to do it as much, but I still love it. So I'm with you.
I have such a blast. It's like getting to set. It's like there's a piece of me that just gets warm on the inside because I'm so excited to get there. So excited to work and play and have fun. Bring a journey to life with a director, with another actor. I mean, I got a chance to work with somebody on a project that hasn't been announced yet, but we got a chance to play every day, which was, it's so fun when you get to do that across from another person. And I look forward to it every time.
That's great. So with this latest role right before Christmas, what was that like to play a soldier? Was that a humbling experience for you?
It was definitely a humbling experience. Even talking to, we had the same wardrobe supervisor as we did on Valentine in the Vineyard. Her name's Val. She's amazing. She basically said that even from the wardrobe, they had a plan to make sure everything was authentic. We didn't want anything to not feel like it was meant to be the right way. So everything I was wearing was exactly how it would be if I was in the military. We had the actual stuff bought from the military, like our tracksuits that we run in the one time are actual Army issue tracksuits. And
I was curious about that. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. It was really, really quite cool. And so it as soon as you put on the uniform, you sort of feel, you feel that, not heaviness exactly, but that sense of, the people that do put this on, they mean so much to us in Canada and everybody in the United States. I mean, the people who choose to defend our countries, they're a special breed of people. And to sort of get to pay homage to them and it was done, not through like very heavy-handedness, but we talked about a real issue, which is, some people don't understand. And I think it was really nice to have a moment in our script in which we sort of went, it's not easy for everybody, but sometimes it's just what the individual needs to do. And it was very honoring to get a chance to play that.
What kind of research did you do? Were you able to speak to some actual soldiers? Did you go to a base?
We didn't have too much ability to go through too much. It was done quite quickly from booking to filming. So most of what I did was through YouTube. I wanted to find some videos on there that sort of showed interviews with soldiers who, their choice. We also had, luckily, one of our crew members on set. He was former military, and he was one of the people I like to talk to between every take to sort of chat with about, what everything means. I was very specific about, I luckily didn't have any times in the scenes where I had to be standing at attention or anything like that, but I still went over all those things to know how to do it.
Sure.
Just in case I was ever used. But yeah, it was that my research mostly was through my own sort of personal things, through research on YouTube and online. So I hope that it did pay homage in a good way. We didn't obviously go too much into everything that goes on as someone in the military, but I hope everybody was happy to see a man in uniform.
Well, and I also liked I also liked the message of that you can find a happy Christmas in all different kinds of environments, because usually the solution in Hallmark movies is, well, you have to get them home, even soldiers, you got to get them home, and of course that's always wonderful to be, but I kind of liked in this movie in general how a number of the characters were able to find kind of happy Christmases, whether it was with friends, whether it was on the base, all that kind of stuff.
I agree. And it was, that's the one greatest thing about, I grew up in Prince George, where my family, we always had Christmas together, Thanksgivings together. But now living in a bigger city like Vancouver, there are things that we like to call Friendsgiving. So it's Thanksgiving when, if any of your friends don't have the ability to go see this home to see their family, we call it Friendsgiving, where we all get together. We have a nice turkey dinner. We say what we're thankful for. It's beautiful to sort of be able to do that. And it doesn't take away from anybody's home life. Nobody's family isn't important to them, but sometimes we can't get home to them. We can't see them all the time. So it's really nice to have a home away from home. And I like that Hallmark decided to play into that a little.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but Carter, the character, took what he had. I absolutely loved that shot when you gave her the orange snowman. I almost burst into tears. It was just so adorable.
I love, because it's a callback to her earlier line, is you can't build a snowman out of orange peels. And I was like, well, challenge
then you
accepted.
got the real orange. Oh no, that was a perfect moment. It was a perfect moment. And you took the challenge, and you also took what you had, and it was it was the perfect Hallmark moment, and it would have been perfect in almost any circumstance. I don't know what woman wouldn't have fallen for that.
I get it.
All right. So what we like to, and I don't know if you remember last time you had some fun, silly questions at the end.
I love it. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I listened to it, and I am calling you out on cookies and cream.
Cookies and cream ice cream is bad. Oreo ice cream is good.
You've never had Texas Bluebell cookies and cream ice cream. So what
I'm not saying all, not all, red velvet cake is still good. I will enjoy cookies and cream, but it's not Oreo ice cream.
No, you need to book a role that films in Texas, and you need to have Bluebell cookies and cream ice cream. You will never have anything else again, and you will adore it.
Interesting. Okay. I'll book my flights to Texas right now.
There we go. I'll find you a place to stay.
So, all right. Your first question is, what is your favorite holiday drink?
Ooh, a nice eggnog latte. And is definitely up there. I would have to say, and then just drinking straight eggnog. I feel like I've drank so much eggnog in my life that it probably is part of my blood veins now. So anything eggnog is up there. That's for sure.
That's good.
Favorite holiday cookie or treat?
Ooh, anything with a lot of icing on it. Ooh, no, I've changed my answer. My brother's fiance, future wife, because they're getting married in January. She makes this thing called seven layer bars or something like that. It was the greatest thing. She made so many, she was one of those people that has a bunch of the little metal tins. She made 10 of them of this 7-layer bar. And by Christmas, she had to make more because we ate it all.
Oh my God.
It was so good. So none of you can, unfortunately, eat it because I don't know the recipe, and it's that secret that I'll never know, but it's my favorite. 7-layer bars.
Does that have coconut on it?
It does.
Yeah, I've had something like that, and it's delicious.
Oh my God, I was blown away. And it had Christmas sprinkles in it, so that made it even cooler.
Oh, wow.
That's good. All right. What is your favorite Christmas song or carol?
Ooh.
He's taking these so seriously.
You can't not. Christmas song or carol. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, probably.
Solid choice.
And I'll say this. I don't like the fact that, I mean, people have gone back on the Rudolph cartoon or the stop motion animation one and said it was bad because it was bullying. And I was like, the point of the movie is that he is bullied and that's bad. Like,
Thank you.
like you have to have the bullying in it. Like if there wasn't bullying, there is no movie.
Favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, there's so many. Okay. Okay. Christmas Vacation gets watched in our house every Christmas Eve. Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase from National Lampoons. We watch that every year, and it makes me laugh more every year. There are some lines that I didn't realize were there every year. Like there's a line which everybody's laughing at, which is when the old aunt comes. She says, "Don't is your house on 5 o'clock?" And then right after, everybody's always laughing, but she says, "Don't throw me in, clock."
the old grandma gets some of the best lines. Like I love when they're like when she says the Pledge of Allegiance.
I love what
Oh, dear.
Eddie gets up and puts his hand on his chest.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Yeah. And then Chevy Chase, he has one of the greatest lines. He basically says, "Hey, Eddie, can I get you anything? Eggnog? Drive you out to the middle of nowhere? Leave you for dead?"
when my grandma loved that movie.
Perfect imitation right there.
Yeah. And when the squirrel pops out of the tree, my grandma would laugh to the point of like, "Is she breathing? Are you okay?" Like she would go and we would always tease her because she couldn't hear sometimes the best. We'd be like, "Grace." They want you to say Grace.
With the teeth. I always loved how he pointed to his teeth. Grace. But then back to the question, because I need to make sure this gets out there. I love How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey. I think some of the stuff that he does in that script is insane. He is so good because his comic timing is good. So even when you don't understand the jokes, you know it's funny. As a kid, you understood it. But like he has one of the greatest jokes that a 10-year-old will never understand, which is, what if it's a cruel prank? What if it's a cash bar? The nerve. And as a child, you have no idea what a cash bar is, but you know it's funny. And then when you get older and you can watch it with your kids, you are laughing at all these things. Mm-hmm. And then number 3 would easily be Elf, because just watching a person be so happy around Christmas time and love Christmas. I mean, that's how you got to finish. That's like the Christmas Day movie you got to watch.
Yeah.
Paul Green said The Grinch with Jim Carrey. He was very specific. He said, has to be the Jim Carrey version.
I love the original cartoon. Don't get me wrong, but the one with Jim Carrey is phenomenal.
Very good. Okay, do you have a favorite holiday tradition, like decorating the tree or going caroling or just something like that you do that you love to do?
I mean, the movies would be up there as one of our favorite things. Mm-hmm. And then we always have somewhat of it's like a mini Christmas party pretty much on Christmas Eve, where instead of it being, full dinner, we kind of do past apps and things like that. And we play so many board games during the Christmas time that you'd think we would get bored, but we don't get bored of the board games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
We're a big game family as well.
We love games too. So, is a memorable Christmas gift either that you gave or that you received?
Christmas gift that I gave or received. I mean, I had I'll say this, and it's almost like one of the things that I hope that nobody is listening to this that is too young to not know about things with Santa Claus. Mm-hmm. So I won't say too much, but I feel like parents don't get enough credit on Christmas morning, because we seem to get a gift from this gentleman who we've never met, but so much of that was thought of by our amazing parents.
Yeah, they coordinated with Santa.
That's the thing. They coordinated with Santa, and I think they deserve so much credit for that.
Yeah. Very well done. We agree.
Very nice. Very nice.
You tiptoed through that landmine very well.
I think I did. I think I got there.
Well, and you're talking to a mom of 4 here, so thank you very much.
You deserve a lot of credit. I will admit that.
Okay. Well, I think we might know the answer to this one, but which you prefer?
I wonder.
Do you prefer Scrooge or the Grinch? Sounds like.
Oh, Grinch. Grinch. Easily.
That was a really hard question. Clear lights or colored?
Ooh, I think you got to have both. I think both kind of need to be on your tree.
Good man.
Absolutely.
Okay. Would you rather be in a snowball fight or build a snowman?
I mean, I think they go hand in hand, as we've seen in Right Before Christmas. You have to build the snowman, and then it happens in Dumb and Dumber. It happens in Right Before Christmas. Those are just 2 movies, so we all know the answer to that.
Okay, good. The only thing with building a snowman is you have to have a lot of snow.
Yes, absolutely.
Whereas you can make snowballs on a little bit.
100%.
So that's the preference. I don't know.
Do you consider yourself a good gift wrapper?
Yes. My mom taught me very well, and I will very much point out to her, like, look at what I did. I'll take pictures of it and send it to her. So I will take that to my grave, that I'm a good gift wrapper.
And what kind of bows do you use? Do you use the sticky kind, or do you use curly ribbon?
Oh, no, I do the wrap it up, and then I use the scissors, and I do the zzz thing where it spins it.
He knows what curly ribbon is. Oh, my Christmas is complete.
There we go.
All right, last question.
Amazing.
Do you have an ugly Christmas sweater?
I do, but I also have like ugly Christmas onesies, which is worn way more. It's like the classic flannel looking onesie, and I wear it all the time on Christmas. And it's one of those ones that now doesn't have one of the buttons, so like I have to wear boxers or else you'll see way too much. But it's great because it's got the flap and everything. It's cool. I feel really good. That was a gift from my fiance, and I love it.
Oh
She knows the way to your heart. That's clear.
Well, ladies, I am so glad I got a chance to talk with you guys. Unfortunately, I have to call this at the time. Unfortunately, my schedule won't let me chat with you guys any longer than we have, because I would love to.
Well, we were done anyway. You passed the test.
That's it.
And do you want to just quick share your social media?
Absolutely. If you guys want to follow me, you can follow me at Smith21 on both Twitter and Instagram. And go check out my IMDb to check out anything that's new and coming up. There will be some announcements on there soon.
Yay.
Great. That sounds great. Well, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thanks,
Love
guys. Take care.
talking to you. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Let us know your thoughts if you have been listening on Twitter or in the comment section. We'd love to hear what you think of all the different things we talked about with Madison. It was so much fun. And Cami, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Cami Drama Girl. Cami spelled Kami.
Right.
On Facebook, I have the Hooked Hardy Facebook page, and and then my blog is hookedhardy.com, and I will get the link to my interview with Madison and I'll put it in the comments so that you guys can have that, because it was only print, but you could still tell how much he loved humor and how much he loved like I said, how much he loved his craft. The guy loves to act. It's awesome.
Yeah, he's great. And so, make sure you're following the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast all over social media and on iTunes and YouTube. If you're listening on iTunes, please give us your ratings and reviews. And if you're listening or watching on YouTube, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We sure appreciate that. And you can follow me at Rachel's Reviews, all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm going to be reviewing all the big releases in December. So make sure to check that out. I'd be really grateful. And please consider becoming a patron of the channel. We have so much fun. We really appreciate our patrons. We had Thank You Patron Day this last week. So we love our patrons. We try to give some benefits, some giveaways, some other fun stuff. So check it out. The link will be in the description. We also have our merch store. So if you're looking for the perfect gift for the Hallmarky Hardy, just Christmas loving fan, please check out. We have designs by artist Jessica Miller. They're really fun. The link will be in the description. So thanks so much, everybody. We really appreciate it. And Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.